Hallo und willkommen. Ich bin Meister Lenz and you're watching Get Germanized German words that have almost been forgotten, but not quite. In this series, we look at words that have almost been made extinct. Rightfully so? Maybe. Let us decide together in this episode of German words that have almost been made extinct. Let us get started right away. Lasst uns anfangen.
I am bored. What should I do?
Ah, ich weiß.
First up, a fun one. Die Schlitzpieper. Die Schlitzpieper. The nitwit, you would say in English, I think. The word Schlitzpieper describes a person who is not taken very seriously and, well, about whom one is annoyed. A funny word to use for sure, though. Die Schlitzpieper. Next up, das Fracksausen. Das Fracksausen. Also known as the pucker factor in English, I believe. When someone has Fracksausen, they are very afraid of a certain thing. The frack is a waist-short men's skirt with laps. Colloquially, the entire suit with vest, trousers, and everything is often referred to as a frack, aka tailcoat. The frack is considered the king of men's clothing. The German word Sausen can mean a multitude of things, but also dashing or rushing. So if your frack is sausen away and you are afraid, remember that. Next up is der Kaffeeklatsch. Der Kaffeeklatsch. The coffee gossip, I would say in English. A Kaffeeklatsch is one of the most popular leisure activities in Germany. What is meant by this is sitting together comfortably over coffee and cake. A little klatsch, aka gossip, is often part of it. So Kaffeeklatsch, you get together to gossip. I think coffee or whatever you do while klatsching is more or less derivative. The gossiping is why you came together in the first place, and don't you deny it. The next word is kind of related to this. Das Klatschmaul. Das Klatschmaul. A gossip yap. Speaking of gossip, a gossip or a Klatschmaul is someone who likes to talk evil behind others' backs and tends to spread rumors. A terrible person. Das Klatschmaul. Don't like Klatschmäuler. No. Are you a Klatschmaul, or have you experienced a Klatschmaul before? Tell your story and get sympathy in the comments below. Next up is someone that people have called me, before at least, der Lulatsch. Der Lulatsch. Also known as the beanpole in English. If you think there's only insults for rounder people, you're wrong. Lanky-looking, taller and thinner, usually male people are often called Lulatsch. Lulatsch. Next up, another favorite word of mine, der miese Peter. Der miese Peter. Der Sauerpuss, basically. People who are constantly ill-tempered and dissatisfied are called miese Peter, aka grouches. Du alter miese Peter, you old grouch. Next up, a word you will know if you've been to school in Germany during like the 80s and I would say 90s. Das Ratzefummel. Das Ratzefummel. The eraser. Kann ich mir dein Ratzefummel ausleihen? This is a sentence you've been asked many times and maybe asked yourself many times at school as well. Because erasers were somehow constantly disappearing or destroyed on a board. So Ratzefummel were the gold of school days. Unfortunately, this is a term that is mostly no longer used. Next up is a word for eating, schnabulieren. A jocular verb formation of schnabel, aka beak, and first documented as schnabelieren since the 16th century. I don't know about you, but whenever I see sauerkraut, I have to schnabelieren on it. Basically, it means nothing other than to consume something with relish. Schnabelieren. No. Next up is schnurzpiepegal. To not give a damn. If someone says schnurzpiepegal, then, well, the person just doesn't care what happens and shows complete disinterest. Das ist mir schnurzpiepegal. I really don't give a damn. Our next word is shmakers. Mit shmakers, with shmakers is, well, with zest. Today people do a lot of things with schmackes, be it hammering a nail into the wall, or, well, seasoning something well. Mit Schmackes gewürzt. This derives from the Middle Old German word smacken, to beat or to clap. In the past, if someone got Schmackes, he got a good beating. But it can also simply stand for a great effort. Schmackes. In contrast to this word, The next one, die Trantüte. Die Trantüte, a slowpoke. It's a word we probably heard regularly from our parents as a child. Du bist so eine Trantüte. You're such a slowpoke, referred to the fact that we were particularly slow. The word Tran actually comes from Low German and has the same origin as the word Träne, or, well, tear in English. It means something like dripping. When something drips, it can also be a very slow process, die Trantüte. Next up, another favorite of mine, Versaubeuteln. Versaubeuteln. It has probably happened to everyone at some point. Versaubeuteln means to spoil, soil, or break something due to, well, careless handling. Or to lose something due to carelessness. Versaubeuteln. Das habe ich versaubeuteln, sorry. Versaubeuteln, I'm sorry. By the way, here is a fun, free bonus word for you. Yes, free of charge, completely free of charge, actually. It is verschlimmbessern. Verschlimmbessern, what could that mean? Hey, what do you say in German when you make something worse when actually trying to make it better? Verschlimmbessern. What, do you really have a word for that? Yeah, and it comes from, well, verschlimmern, to make something worse, and verbessern, to improve something. Verschlimmbessern. That is one of my favorites for short. Did you know these words, or any of them actually, and would you use them in an everyday conversation for these days? Let me know in the comments below which one was your favorite. Other stories related to these words. Have you, well, come up with your own German words that have almost been forgotten? Let us know. Drive the conversation forward. I'm very happy to read your comments. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't yet. Click the bell so you get notified whenever I upload a new video, which is, by the way, every Saturday evening, 6 p.m. Germany time. And apart from that, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to get Germanized. Goodbye and auf Wiedersehen.